Hi, Stephanie Abrams here, dashing through the airport. I'm going on an adventure. I've got my backpack, I've got my laptop, I've got my traveling shoes on. Come along with me. So much fun today. I'm going to take you with me to visit some romantic hideaways. And you know, not all romantic hideaways are hidden away in the countryside, although we will be visiting some both in the US and abroad. But sometimes you can go to the biggest city and really get lost there and find a romantic hideaway. So we're starting out in New York City, and we're going to go over to the Plaza Athénée. Oh my gosh. You know, it has a sister property that's related, I think, in love only, in Paris. But you feel that European elegance presented to you in the most incredible way, starting right in the lobby, which isn't one of these mammoth places that you could land the jumbo jet in. You feel like you're coming home in the midst of Manhattan around you, in a quieter part of Midtown, into a marvelous setting that makes you feel you've just entered your own chateau in France. Look at those flowers waiting to greet you. No, they're not silk. Oh, they're wonderful. And every time you walk into that lobby, you will find a fabulous display of marvelous flowers. And there to greet me were, on the right, David Cohen, the general manager of the Plaza Athénée, and James Fallon. Isn't that a great name? Imagine when he makes a reservation at a restaurant somewhere. James Fallon, Director of Sales and Marketing for the Plaza Athénée. So if you've got a benchmarking occasion, this is a great place to take one of their fabulous suites and have your intimate wedding there. And their suites open up, most of them, onto wonderful terraces, balconies, fantastic. And then when you shoo out all the guests, you've got the place all to yourself. And of course, executive sous chef Alfred Thomas makes the best crab cakes in the whole world outside of the Chesapeake Bay area. I promise you that. You won't be disappointed. So let's get off on the floor where our suite is. You see that suite there with the Ionic columns on each side of the double doorway? Next time I want to stay there. I haven't seen on the other side of that door. That suite is generally occupied whenever I've been at the Plaza Athénée. But we're going to walk down the hallway and we're going to enter our suite. And the first thing on the right, aside from the closet where you can deposit your outer coat, there's a wonderful bar, a wet bar. And we were very happy to see something lovely waiting for us on the coffee table. Some yum-alicious things elegantly served. That's their mini bar offering. Isn't that marvelous? When have you ever seen anything presented quite that lovely? And there's a guidebook in your room to give you the answers to some questions you want a quick answer to. Where is this and that? Room service menus and other services available in the hotel. And that's our living room suite. Look at that. And the flat screen TV there. Of course, there's another one in the bedroom, and the yummiest linens. You can see just by looking at it that that is one comfortable bed. Isn't that pretty? With the little gold embroidered trim on the pillows and the duvet. That's a bathroom I'd like to take home. And again, I love bathrooms where the shower and the bathtub are not the same place. I always feel it's so much safer taking a shower in a stall shower arrangement. Then that has tile floor, marble walls, double sink. There's your bathrobes. Isn't that lovely? So pretty. And in the shower, the handheld, all those sprays available make you feel good when you wake up. But if we take the advice of executive sous chef Alfred and go down to have a bite. Now, here you are now in your lovely Hideaway suite. Go down to the restaurant and you feel like you have entered one of the dining areas in the Palais de Versailles in France, Versailles Palace. The woodworking on the walls. You can see from this table where we've just come in through. So just off the lobby area, you come into a lovely bar and into the restaurant. And I have to tell you that you see me there smiling from ear to ear, partly because I was just told, oh, it's just our secret, don't tell anybody. But I managed to just miss bumping into Pierce Brosnan and Robert De Niro. And I actually did get to meet Melissa Rivers, Joan Rivers' daughter, at the hotel. And after a very fine meal, I had to give a special hug to sous chef Alfred Thomas. I wish I had one of those tall hats to wear. Next time I go there, I'm hoping to cook with him in the kitchen. But if you've left enough room for dessert, or maybe you're headed out for a play or a movie, head off to Serendipity 3 on 60th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. If you're a walker, you can walk it from the Plaza Athénée. If the weather doesn't permit or you've had enough walking for the day, hop a cab. And what you're looking at is their signature frozen hot chocolate. Yummalicious. Now, I have to admit, I now ask them to hold off a bit on the whipped cream, but it's made from something like 27 different kinds of chocolates that come from all over the world, and then shaved on top of the whipped cream and on top of the frozen hot chocolate, there's even more pieces of chocolate, and it's grand. But if you're into hot fudge sundaes, I'm going to tell you, I'm salivating just telling you about it now. 225 East 60th Street in New York City. You want to head that way. By the way, you can have light fare, salads, lunch, frittatas. My favorite is their foot-long hot dog. And you'll note that there are both Tiffany style as well as true, real Tiffany lampshades in abundance throughout the main level. There's an upper level too. If you saw the film Serendipity with John Cusack, much of it was filmed upstairs. There's an upper level, but I like to be on the main floor. Isn't this place cute? Look at those Tiffany lights. And that's Stephen Bruce, a photo taken a bit ago, looking very much like a dashing actor. I call it the Errol Flynn pose. He is just such a wonderful man. And one of the three founders, the last surviving founder of Serendipity 3, which was created in 1954 and is still going strong. That's me in their wonderful gift shop with Stephen Bruce. Cutest things. You need to bring home something adorable when you visit New York City for somebody who's got pajamas with feet, or somebody that is having a birthday or an anniversary, or you just want to remember. You'll find something unique there. You'll also find copies of Rumors by Stephanie Abrams. Now take a good look at this frozen hot chocolate. And by the way, they sell a mix. You can do it at home, but I've never tried it. It's best to be there. But look outside of Serendipities. You see that big window on the right side, that big display window? For the film Serendipity, the film production company built a giant-sized frozen hot chocolate, and when you see the movie, you'll see it in that window. And here you see John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale, and they're busy each slurping on their own frozen hot chocolate. Upstairs, and you see how light and airy the upstairs area is. I like the downstairs where all the lots of antiques and excitement. Here, walking through the doors, you never know who's going to come through. And here you see Andy Warhol and the Rockettes from Radio City Music Hall. Note that they've gone for something that, I don't know, maybe that's a vanilla frozen hot chocolate. I've never seen one of those, but being a chocolate purist, well, just look at that. Look at the chocolate. Who could compete with that? And so here at Serendipity 3, restaurant and general store, you never know who might be walking through. And in this case, it was Jackie Kennedy Onassis and her son, John Jr., Kelly Ripa. You know who that is. And I have sat in places at tables in Serendipities where next to me was Dick Shawn and his family, Carol Burnett, and there's a favorite table there, ask about it, that Marilyn Monroe used to love to sit at and order these specialty sundaes with gold leaf. And look at this, looks like a Viking banana split. Stay with me, we'll be right back. Well, we're going to continue our search for the perfect itinerary of romantic hideaways. And here you're looking at a darling place called Keenan's Boutique Hotel. And it's right beside the Shannon River. And you can see that it's in a darling little town in County Roscommon called Tarmanbury. Easy to find. It's on a good route if you're going north-south or east-west in Ireland or Northern Ireland. This is a great place to stop, and let's go inside and you'll see what I mean. This is the dining room. It's a 2-level cathedral ceiling, charming place, a great place just to have a fantastic meal. That it's right beside the Shannon River, so it's got wonderful views. They have a very lively bar as well. It's a really fun place. It's the perfect spot. You could see right across the street. Literally, there's just a road between the hotel and the Shannon River, and there are various boat excursions that you can take yourself out on. If we continue on a northward track, and not in the downtown area of Enniskillen, but within the town framework, is a wonderful romantic place, the Manor House Country House. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at the view. And it's sitting in the middle of a giant estate, and those wonderful lions are there to greet you as you arrive. It really has a very grand feel about the entrance area. Just look at the workmanship. It's just a delightful place. Look at that ceiling. Is that not gorgeous? So there's this wonderful crystal chandelier, and I have a suspicion that may have been made by Balik Crystal. Look down the hallway at the vaulted arches and the columns and the woodworking. It's just grand. And as we leave there, we're going to travel a bit eastward, and we're going to head in the direction of County Down, and you can already begin to see some of the road signs giving you directions to Down Cathedral, where St. Patrick's grave is, and the St. Patrick Center, which is the only permanent exhibit to the life of Patrick in the world. Now, if you go north from there and you can drive along the sea, the coastal route is just gorgeous. If you continue on that route, it will ultimately take you up into the most northern part of County Antrim, where Giant's Causeway is. But as you get past the city of Larne which has a great place to have ribs, by the way, called the Brooklyn Diner. It's amazing. You will come to Ballygally Castle and the original castle wall. It comes right down to the sea. And you can't miss the wall. It says Ballygally Castle on it in big letters, and then there's a plaque commemorating that it was part of an ancient fortress there. At that point, make a left and keep driving for about 2 miles until you come to a T-junction, which means you can't go straight. You can only go right and left, and right in front of you, in typical Irish fashion, you'll find a pub. Right at that corner, on the right side, Corner Cottage, built in 1760, and that's it from before you get to the T-junction. You see the white building that is Corner Cottage. There's a courtyard behind that red door, and all of that is part of Corner Cottage. And let's go inside. It's been completely restored with loving care by the grandson of Nana, who owned this, who would be very proud of the way it looks. It is charming and wonderful. It is not a B&B. It's what in Ireland is called a self-catering cottage, which means go out and pick up your own food, make your own breakfast. And you'll see you've got in this one room, which I adored, the living room, dining room area with doors that go out into that beautiful courtyard area from there. And you've got a wood-burning stove, and they'll leave you with logs, so you're in good shape. Let's go upstairs. You see on the left and right, you've got the vestiges of the original stone walls. Very cozy. Right at the top of the stairs on the right side is a very modern bathroom with stall shower. And you see that big oval-shaped bathtub. Just past the bathroom is the second bedroom. And then there's the master bedroom with a headboard that came out of a church. It's a wonderful antique piece. And it has its own bath. Here's the very modern kitchen, and that's a better picture of what's behind that red door. The courtyard, in lovely weather, it's a great place for outdoor dining. Now, just off the side of the house, there are French doors going out into this very serene, quiet place. It's so charming and lovely. We were supposed to be there 3 nights. We spent 5 nights, and I hated leaving. A place that I promise you will love. Corner Cottage, County Antrim, Northern Ireland. Keep up with me, people. I am in Connemara, in a geographical area that is called Leenane, except there is kind of a little central area where you'll find some shops. This is out, surrounded by mountains and lakes and gloriousness. And I am at Adelphi Lodge with Michael Wade, the general manager, here in Ireland. Thank you so much for joining me. Maybe you can share with our audience, what is Adelphi Lodge, where is it, and why should people come here?
Yes, good morning, Stephanie. Well, Adelphi Lodge is very much an Irish historical country house, based here in the very southwest tip of County Mayo and on the borders of Connemara. It is a fantastic location, very rustic, pristine waters, dramatic mountains, and we are blessed with all the soft weather that the Atlantic gives us. Our history is very much of a sporting lodge over the centuries. Today, of course, we still are very much a renowned, prestigious fishery for wild Atlantic salmon. And in more recent times, we offered our guests from all over the world a really Irish experience in a traditional Irish country house. And nowadays, people love to come for the food. We have the best of food in this region from an unspoiled environment. They love to come and join us in our exquisite dining, travel Connemara, walk the hills, do some fishing, and really just unwind, relax in Irish grandeur.
I understand you've had some very fancy guests here.
Yes, we do. We don't over talk about it. And when our celebrities arrive, many famous celebrities come here. We've had royalty, Prince Charles of England. We would have all the better known American actors. I haven't had an American president yet, but I'm working on it. And I think for people who are very well known, they come here, they relax, nobody's bothering them. It's that sort of a place, you know. It's away from it all, and they might have fame and grandeur to their names, but here they're just able to relax and leave all that behind for a little while. Very much in your grandmothers.
I'm so happy to be here at Adelphi Lodge in Leenane, County Galway, in the area of Galway known as Connemara. And if you really want to get away, this is the place. We're going to take a quick break and come back. I have so much more to share with you. Don't leave me. This must be the version for a giant of my book, Rumors. Rumors by Stephanie Abrams, filled with love and lust and lies, intrigue, secrets, and a whodunit. Check out your favorite online bookseller, Rumors by Stephanie Abrams. Drive along the sea route. There's so much to see and do there, and we're going to be sharing with you a great itinerary. But going southward, almost dead center in the Republic of Ireland, just north of Athlone, which is the dead center bullseye target in the middle of the Republic of Ireland, you will find Ballyfarnan in County Roscommon and Kilronan Castle. If you have a look at Travel TV with Stephanie Abrams episode Castle Hopping, you'll find a whole feature on Kilronan Castle. Amazing place. But I wanted to just focus this time on their new tower suite. If you've always wanted to be Rapunzel, being rescued in your tower, this is it. It's up in the turret of the castle. It's got a wonderful knurled 4-poster bed. You can see the view out the window of the estate that Kilronan Castle sits on. I couldn't help but fall down in that yummy, inviting bed. Jump in with me. Come on. Beautiful bathroom. Very modern, lovely bathtub. You see the marble-lined, glass-enclosed shower, double sinks. I mean, it's made for comfort and style and enjoyment. And that's Kilronan Castle in County Roscommon, Ireland. John Ryan is waiting for us, part of the family that owns and operates the Ardlin Hotel in Galway. And look at the lovely lobby area and the beautiful outdoor patio area where you can have a reception, you can have a meal, you can have just a nice walk around the grounds. And there's lovely lounge areas, the beautiful pool area. And when you get to the bedrooms, they are just so comfortable and accommodating. Just the nicest everything for a great night's sleep. And here in the dining room, what a great place for a party. But we're going to get on our way from the Ardlin Hotel and head off to Morani Park. Heading just a bit north, we're going to arrive at the Morani Park Hotel. And what a great view. Look at this wonderful view. You've got wonderful accommodations, comfortable lounges, surrounded by beautiful grounds and flowers. And how about the swimming pool area? I mean, isn't that wonderful? If you're going to have an event, they have a perfect ballroom for it, and you're looking out over the sea, and you can see the happy couple being met by welcome donuts at their wedding reception. Always great food and always great management under the tutelage of Dermot Madigan. And if we drive northwest, there is a piece of County Donegal that is a peninsula extension, but it's very much a part of County Donegal. And that area is called Inishowen. And you're looking at Loch Swilly, which has great and important history. And one of the things that happened here that Loch Swilly is related to is the hymn Amazing Grace, because it was written by someone who was on a boat that was out in the rough seas, and he got home safely and wrote Amazing Grace. And so this is Amazing Grace country, people. Isn't that cool? And so right there, you see all the cars? On the land side of the parking area is the Red Door. And the Red Door is a combination restaurant, bar, lounge, and B&B. The accommodations are marvelous. And there aren't many of them, so you have to reserve well in advance. And the place is beautiful. Now, since we were there, and the owner, where you see all this grass outside of the door, you know, that lawn area, they've created a beautiful big deck, great for dining and for partying. Look at the dining room. It's just as charming as it can be. And outside of those windows, you can actually see the lake. I was just, forget about eating. I mean, the food is great, but I was just so happy. You see, I've got that silly grin. Just happy sitting there. And they've got a couple of wonderful lounge areas that are charming and lovely. A great place to just escape and be alone with somebody you love, or to have a romantic benchmarking event like a birthday or a wedding reception. And again, the food is just terrific there. Isn't it lovely? Now, out in the garden area, that's not just a normal coffee cup. That's one of those cups that's about 8 inches in diameter. So, there you were out there, and it looked like Finn McCool had left his coffee cup behind, the giant of Ireland's mythology. But we're going to leave the area now, and we're going to go off elsewhere. But on the way, look what we're passing. It was Christmas time, and all of Santa's helpers were out there dancing on the sidewalk. You have to love Ireland. Those people know how to get every ounce of joy out of life. But I want you to stay with me, because we're going off to Monaco after these important messages. Don't leave me. Monaco, by definition, a romantic place. And there are so many nooks and crannies that you can find your way into all by yourself. And there are so many choices for accommodations. And there are so many wonderful views, and not only all the seascapes, but the landscapes, the architecture. We're going to head off immediately to check in at the Hotel Columbus. It's in the old town, the old port of Monte Carlo in Monaco, and it's very relaxed, and you really will feel like you're coming home. I love the fact that you will interface with bamboo usually in the lobby area, certainly in your accommodation, where you'll find the sheets that they use, the linens, the towels, the mattresses. Everything is aimed at comfort. Look in the bathroom. Time to wash our hands. I'm holding a soap dish. Romance in the air and in the soap. Let's go have lunch now that our hands are clean. Oh, and you're in the Mediterranean, you're in Monaco, seafood people. So have a look at that. Calamari and shrimp and a beet salad. Yummy. Scallops. And wash it all down with a glass of wine. Not only from France or Italy, which are bordering Monaco, but from anywhere in the world. Make sure you thank the chef. And before you find your way out of the hotel to go sightseeing, you're probably going to come across a wonderful dog who's allowing his owner to travel with him. This is Marty, an 8-month-old golden retriever I had such fun with. But as you exit the hotel, cross the street, and you will find the Princess Grace Rose Garden. This sign in French says, "This rose garden was created by the initiative of Prince Rainier III in memory of Princess Grace." And that would be Princess Grace Kelly, the actress from Philadelphia, who met Prince Rainier when she was filming To Catch a Thief with Cary Grant. You want to make sure you see that film. Aren't the roses beautiful? And there's a statue of Princess Grace. I love this rose, French vanilla, that blends into lavender, that blends on the edges into a raspberry color. And in these two signages that you'll find at the garden, let's get the close-up. That's Princess Grace in the first row. She was not only a beautiful woman, she was a beautiful woman, inside as well as out. So, now that we're in the mood for gardens, let's take a walk. And you'll find Monaco is just overflowing with beautiful vistas, and everywhere you go, there is beautiful landscaping. And that's why you'll find this sign, "Interdit aux chiens," dogs prohibited. And you'll find incredible statuary everywhere, sculptures everywhere. I love this one of the man emerging from the stone. Isn't that wild? And if you need a little exercise, now there's a place to play some basketball, no? The only 100% American sport, by the way. Every other sport has a derivative in some other sport from somewhere else in the world. But basketball, all hours. So if you find yourself some height, some building, window, or balcony, you're looking down into the old port, and that's an ice skating rink they set up in the winter. But it's real warm out. You know, they don't get the temperatures we get. All right, so here's the yacht basin, and there's some yachts, and then there is the mother of yachts. Look at that. That's the problem with yachts. No matter how wonderful your boat is, there's someone with one that makes yours look like a cork bobbing in the water. But let's go over to the Hotel de Paris. We have friends arriving who we are hosting during this trip because regrettably circumstances prevented them from attending a family event we had in Ireland. So I invited them to meet us in Monte Carlo. And we hosted them at this hotel. There I am in the lobby, and there are the stairs that you love to take pictures on. There's our friends, Stephen and Mina, and my husband, on the balcony, overlooking the Mediterranean. That's their accommodations. I'm going to wait for them to come down. There they are. So now let's go out and do some sightseeing. Well, it's starting to get dark, and this is what it looks like in Monte Carlo. And up on the hillside in the background, you're looking up at the old city of Monaco. And now my homage to marvelous Grand Chef Marcel Atmond, who was asked by Prince Rainier to create a restaurant in this certain spot on the cliffside with the most magnificent view from Monaco's cliffside, from the town of Monaco, looking down onto the harbor and Monte Carlo. And so look at the food that they used to prepare that. But this is, again, my homage because le restaurant de Saint-Benoît is now closed when Marcel retired. So now that we've had some dinner, let's go to the Christmas market. Ah, Barba Papa. You know what that is, Barba Papa? Yes. It's cotton candy. Ferris wheels. Bears to dance with. I love dancing with the bears. And the Barba Papa is in motion. And I've managed to find myself 5 Santa's helpers, one with an accordion. And you can see the people ice skating even at night. Now, take a look at these Christmas decorations. They look like Christmas trees, or they're like ice cream cones upside down. That's by day. This is what they look like by night. And they are all over Monaco. Every year they pick a theme, and everybody does the same thing. You know, outside of their stores, their homes, whatever, lining the streets. And this is down in the harbor. Look at those giant-sized yachts. You see the Christmas tree shape out of lights in the middle? That's on that yacht. Ah, yes. You have to admire people who know how to live. And now in the Christmas market, you can find fondue and foie gras. You see I'm pointing at the sign? And champagne and caviar. Well, you know, it's not bratwurst or hot dogs that you might find in Germany or the US. No, champagne, foie gras, Christmas lights everywhere, and that's the casino lighted at night. Isn't that gorgeous? And there I am with my friend Mina in front of the Christmas decorations that you'll get to see by daylight soon. But now it's daylight, and let's have a look at some of the gorgeous architecture. And we're in the area where there are a slew of museums of various kinds that were founded by Prince Renier. Look at the architecture. Isn't that stunning? No, that's not a plaque for your wall. That's the front of a building. A little dark in this corner, but you need an apron, maybe inspired to cook. And this is in Monaco at the top of, sitting on that cliff. It's like a mountainside. Great shopping. You know, I actually bought an ice cream cone that looks very similar to that for my patio. You gotta love that. Mine isn't quite that tall. We stopped in this place for pizza for lunch. It was fabulous. Isn't the architecture amazing? Lots of great shopping. I'm holding 2 sacks of presents that I bought for the children of people I love. And now we're at where the palace is. And there is the guard, one of the guards, sentries at the palace. Statuary, one of the local dogs, misbehaving with a statue. I won't take long, watch this. Hello, hey dog, not here. And this dog is watching it all and commiserating. A dog can't catch a break. Look at the architecture. Now you see the oranges on the tree? You're not going to want to pick it and eat it. In France, in Monaco, in Spain, you really have to put sugar on them. They're almost like lemons or kumquats. They're so sour. They're not Florida or California oranges you just take off the tree and eat. But look how many people arrive by boat or live in Monte Carlo and have a boat. There's another restaurant you might want to stop into. Nice way to start a romantic evening. Quai des Artistes, Fruits de Mer, seafood. Look at the ceiling. Is that not stunning? Bread coming out of the oven. That looks yum. And that's an individual pot of soup. So if you ordered soup, that's what would be delivered to you. Fish and chips, people. And this is dessert. I think that was an apple something. It smelled so good from apples and cinnamon. And this was chocolate souffle. And you needed to order it when you sat down for dinner. People at the next table knew how to eat. Look at that. Is that not gorgeous? All seafood. And now out to play in the Christmas market before the sun rises. Although the sun may rise with people still in the casino, which is worth going in. And there is a fee, an entry fee to go into the casino, whether you gamble or not, and they're going to take your passport. And when you leave, they'll give your passport back. And I think that has to do with maybe you run up a bill. You're not getting your passport back until you pay what you owe. Look at there's a big park in between the town shopping in Monte Carlo and the casino. This big grassy park. And every year they do different decorations for Christmas. Is that not stunning? Look at that. And so in the amusement area of the Christmas market in the harbor, they have something similar. And there's a fellow in there. You see him? You look carefully, you can see hands and legs. Fascinated by the port and the boats. When you see the film To Catch a Thief with Grace Kelly and Cary Grant, you're going to see this shot in the film when they go out on the boat and they're looking back at the land. So now we're back up in the old city. walking around the streets, shopping, and tons of museums. I particularly love the Automobile Museum, and this Automobile Museum, this particular Ferrari, whatever that is, race car, I don't know, looks like a plow to me. It looks like a big oil can, but it's got my lucky number 27 on it. Aren't these gorgeous? I love that Wedgwood blue car. And when we left there, our friend Steven decided he would get up close and cozy with what I think is it's either a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. I'll have to check more carefully. Yeah, the cars today do not have the panache of those antique cars. Everywhere you go, sculpture, gorgeous buildings, and me. Flowers everywhere. Look at this flower. I don't know what it's called. Is that not spectacular? It looks like somebody created it out of clay or carved it out of wood and painted it. Looks like a star or a crown. I mean, I was so fascinated by that flower. That and the harbor. They're a tie. Gorgeous building, no? Look at that building. It looks like it could be the topping on a cake. This is inside the cathedral, at the top of in the old city of Monaco, on top of the mountain, where it's not far. It's in close proximity to the palace, and of course that says peace. An old book with Gregorian chants in it. I mean, really old book, probably 1,000 years old, hand done by the monks. And that is in the stone floor of the cathedral. That's the internment site, the grave of Grace Kelly. And there are surveillance cameras pointed down, make sure nobody does anything foolish, and people come and decorate with flowers and loving trinkets every day. At the time when we took this picture, Grace Kelly had passed, but Prince Rainier, her husband, had not, so he would be there now too. And I'm just busy holding up a wall, make sure it doesn't fall down. Let's go back to that antique car museum. It's worth a revisit. Look at this vintage coach. I actually participated in a coaching event, and they are very comfortable when you're on trails and grass, not so much when you're on an asphalt road, but they're really, wonderful. When I get in, doors open. Here are some race cars. A 1911 Renault. Some of these say something like a gift from this one or that one to the prince. I don't know that it's true, but I have an underlying suspicion that these gifts were made when they lost in the casino, and that's how they paid their debt, by giving the prince one of their antique cars. This is a Peugeot 1921. Twin Citroëns, his and hers. I love the color of this Chrysler. This is a 1931 Chrysler Plymouth. And they've restored it to this color. I don't know what the original color was, probably black. But you see how it would match my coat? I'd look so good in it. Or in this one. This works too. And that's a Packard. 1926 Packard. Ford. 1930. Vintage cars. Look at that Bentley. You could drive that in a very classy way today. Isn't that gorgeous? Continental S, 1956. Stunning. And I managed to find a Rolls Royce just parked outside of the hotel. So there I am, getting up close and personal. Yeah, it's a Cadillac. My grandfather had a Chrysler LeBaron that had chrome bumpers that look like that. That truly could kill somebody. Those things are heavy like a Sherman tank. I love those white walls. Look at those sexy white walls. That's romance, people. And you can go into a local shop and for a few $100s buy some ceramic artistic rendering. Isn't that cute? I figured if we tried to get it home, it would come home in pieces, so it stayed there. Off to the Prince's Zoo. Look at that. That's Baby Roo. Where's Kanga, your mommy? And this hippopotamus is not a bronze casting. That's a real hippopotamus. And as we approached, all I smelled was applesauce. And when he got there, I understood why. That hippopotamus's mouth is stuffed with about a dozen apples. And when it opened its big mouth, you could see the apples getting crunched. And he had the most beautiful applesauce breath. Well, we end in paradise, people. Monaco. Truly a place you'd call paradise on the Mediterranean. Where did the hour go? Come back next week. Gotta fly now.